Right, this is the original silver blade holder, and it works a little differently than the max blade holder in terms of how you load the blade. First of all, you unscrew this bottom cap part, the part with the cross grid. You're going to completely remove this cap and set it aside. And then you take your blade, and then the blade has a little cap on it that's protecting the sharp end of the blade. And so you just remove this cap, and that exposes the sharp part, and you're going to hold it carefully, don't cut yourself, and then insert it into the little hole here in the blade holder, the negative end, not the sharp end, but the negative end or the non-sharp end. And as you slide it in there, you'll feel a little magnet grab it, and when you feel that magnet grab it, you know that the blade is inserted correctly. Then you take your cap and you're going to carefully put it over the blade, and you're going to screw the cap on. Now you don't screw it on all the way. What you want to do is as you're screwing it on, you're going to start to feel the little, or feel the little tip of the blade start to protrude from the hole. And the more you turn on the cap, the more that's exposed. So you don't want to expose too much. You want to hold your paper up or your cardstock up next to this and make sure that it's just the right amount of exposure to penetrate that material that you're cutting. If you have too much, if you make your blade too long, it's going to be cutting into your mat, which is going to dull your blade sooner and also give you lousy cutting. So be very careful about how much blade you use. So once you have that set, then your blade holder is ready to insert into the machine. Now if you own one of the older Klic-N-Kuts, an Element or one of the yellow models or one of the older white models, then you may need to make an adjustment up here. And the reason for that is that if this, let's loosen this a little bit. If this wider part is all the way down and you insert it into the grip on the machine, the blade holder seat, you may find that the bottom of the blade is too far from the material. So you may need to raise this. And to do that, just unscrew the top, then raise and then rotate this little wide flange part upwards. Then tighten this part against the flange, tighten it. And what this will allow it to do is sit lower in the blade holder seat and get your blade then closer down to your material. And of course, always remember, you don't want your blade tip touching the material. You want a little bit of distance above it so that you're not cutting through the material as the blade holder is moving from the origin up to the point it wants to start cutting. And also you need that extra little distance so that when the blade holder seat drops to start cutting, you get extra force, you get some of that oomph. One more thing, on the blade holders when you receive them, you'll notice that the cap has a very tiny hole. You cannot use this with the fabric blade or with the original sliver blade, not the sliver 2 blade, but the original sliver blade, because both of those blades are very wide. So instead, when you purchase a sliver 1 blade or you purchase the fabric blade, you'll want to order also a cap, and so you'll notice that this cap over here has a much larger hole on it, and that allows those blades to protrude from the bottom. So I think that's all you need to know about using these blade holders.